Have you ever wondered what really happens inside your body when you take a simple fiber every single day? Could one natural ingredient quietly transform your digestion, support your heart, and even help control your weight without you noticing major changes at first? And why are so many health experts suddenly recommending psyllium husk as a daily habit? At first glance, psyllium husk might seem like just another supplement sitting on a shelf. But once it enters your body, something fascinating begins to happen. It absorbs water, expands, and forms a gel-like substance that travels through your digestive system. This process may sound simple, but its effects can be surprisingly powerful and sometimes unexpected. But here's the real question. Is taking psyllium husk every day always a good idea? Can it improve your gut health, lower cholesterol, and stabilize blood sugar? Or could it cause problems if used incorrectly? Most people use it the wrong way and never unlock its full benefits. In this video, you will discover what truly happens inside your body when you consume psyllium husk daily, the powerful health benefits it can offer, how it supports digestion, heart health, and weight management, and the common mistakes you must avoid to use it safely and effectively. Before we get into it, can you do us a quick favor? Like this video and subscribe to join our healthy community. Also type yes in the comments section now, so we can see how many of you are interested in this type of video. Alright, let's get started. First, relieves constipation. Psyllium husk is one of the simplest natural fibers, yet it can have a big effect on your digestive system. When you mix it with water, it swells and turns into a gel that helps soften stool and move waste through the intestines more smoothly. That is why it is often recommended for people struggling with constipation, especially when bowel movements are hard, infrequent, or uncomfortable. In fact, psyllium is recognized as a bulk-forming fiber that can improve stool consistency and support regular transit. A review published in Medical News Today also notes that psyllium absorbs water and becomes a viscous compound, which helps relieve constipation by making stools larger and easier to pass. One clinical article also explains that psyllium is used for constipation because its soluble fibers help regulate intestinal transit and promote stool elimination. What makes psyllium interesting is that it does not just push things through the gut. It also helps the stool hold the right amount of water. That means it can be useful whether you are dealing with dry, hard stools or sluggish digestion. Some studies and medical sources report that many people notice improvement within a few weeks of regular use, especially when they take it correctly with enough water. Still, it is important to start slowly because too much too fast can cause gas, bloating, or discomfort. Used the right way, psyllium can become a powerful daily tool for better bowel regularity and more comfortable digestion. Next, firms loose stools. Psyllium can also help when stools are too loose or when you are dealing with diarrhea. Because it is a soluble fiber, it absorbs excess water in the intestines and forms a soft gel, which helps make the stool more formed and easier to pass. This is one reason psyllium is often used to restore balance in the digestive system rather than simply push everything through. It can be especially helpful when loose stools happen because of diet changes, stress, or mild digestive upset. In many people, the fiber acts like a natural regulator. It helps soften hard stools and firm up loose ones depending on what the body needs. A review published in Psyllium is a natural, non-fermented gel-forming fiber that is effective, explains that psyllium's gel-forming action helps improve stool consistency and bowel function, which is why it can be useful for both constipation and loose stools. Another medical source also notes that psyllium can help reduce diarrhea by binding water in the gut and improving stool form. That said, it should always be taken with enough water, because improper use can cause choking or bloating. Used correctly, psyllium may help bring your digestion back toward a healthier rhythm. Next, reduces bloating over time. At first, psyllium can sometimes make you feel a little more bloated, especially if you start with too much too soon or do not. Drink enough water. But for many people, that temporary discomfort fades as the gut adapts, and psyllium begins to work in a much more comfortable way. Because it is a soluble fiber, it absorbs water, forms a soft gel, and helps move digestion along more smoothly, which can reduce gas buildup and that heavy, swollen feeling in the belly. Over time, this may make your abdomen feel less tight and your digestion more predictable. A review on abdominal bloating explains that fiber supplements can help bowel function and reduce bloating when used correctly, while a PMC review on psyllium describes its gel-forming effect as useful for improving stool movement and digestive comfort. Some people notice improvement within a few days, but for others, the adjustment period may take a little longer depending on diet, hydration, and gut sensitivity. The key is to start with a small dose, increase gradually, and always take psyllium with plenty of water. When used properly, it can become a helpful daily fiber for reducing bloating instead of worsening it. Next, controls appetite and cravings. Psyllium can help you feel full because it absorbs water and expands into a thick gel in the stomach. That extra volume may slow how quickly food leaves the stomach and make you feel satisfied for longer, which can reduce the urge to snack between meals. In practical terms, this can help with appetite control, especially if you often feel hungry soon after eating or struggle with cravings in the afternoon or late at night. A randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled crossover study found that psyllium supplementation significantly reduced hunger, desire to eat, and food intake, while increasing fullness between meals in healthy volunteers. Another study reported that psyllium reduced hunger feelings and energy intake by 13% and 17%, respectively, compared with placebo. Psyllium may also influence gut signals linked to satiety, including GLP-1 and PYY, though its main benefit is the feeling of fullness it creates rather than acting like a drug. To get the best results, it must be taken with enough water and started gradually because too much too fast can cause bloating or discomfort. Used properly, psyllium may become a simple daily tool for better appetite control and fewer cravings. Next, supports weight loss. Psyllium can support weight loss because it helps you feel full longer, which may reduce snacking and make it easier to control portions. When mixed with water, it expands in the stomach and slows digestion, so meals may keep you satisfied for more time. That can be useful if you often eat out of habit or struggle with constant hunger between meals. It may also help blunt sharp rises in blood sugar after eating, which matters because big glucose spikes can trigger cravings later. A review in PMC found that psyllium is a gel-forming fiber with beneficial effects on weight-related outcomes, and a controlled study reported improvements in satiety and metabolic markers when soluble fiber, including psyllium, was added to meals. Another source notes that psyllium does not burn fat directly, but it can help reduce calorie intake by improving fullness and appetite control. The key is consistency. Psyllium works best as part of an overall healthy routine, not as a magic weight loss solution. You should also drink enough water and increase the dose gradually because too much too fast can cause bloating or discomfort. Used properly, psyllium can be a simple daily support for better appetite control and healthier eating habits. Next, lowers LDL cholesterol. Psyllium can help lower LDL, the bad cholesterol, because it binds bile acids in the intestine and carries them out of the body. Since bile acids are made from cholesterol, your liver has to pull more cholesterol from the blood to make new ones, which can reduce circulating LDL levels over time. This effect is usually modest, but it is meaningful when psyllium is used consistently alongside a healthy diet. A meta-analysis of 28 randomized trials involving 1,924 participants found that about 10 grams of psyllium per day significantly reduced LDL cholesterol, with an average drop of 0.33 millimoles per liter, or roughly 13 milligrams per deciliter. Harvard Health also summarized the same evidence and noted that psyllium lowered LDL by about 13 milligrams per deciliter after at least 3 weeks of use. Older clinical research found that psyllium lowered LDL partly by increasing bile acid synthesis, which supports the same mechanism. In real life, that means psyllium is not a replacement for medication when cholesterol is high, but it can be a useful daily support for heart health. It works best when taken with enough water and paired with better food choices, regular movement, and consistency. Next, improves blood pressure. Psyllium may also help support healthier blood pressure, especially in people who already have hypertension. As a soluble fiber, it can improve overall metabolic health by helping with cholesterol, blood sugar control, and digestion, all of which are connected to cardiovascular risk. Some studies suggest that when these factors improve together, blood pressure can come down slightly over time. A meta-analysis published in PMC found that psyllium supplementation lowered systolic blood pressure, with a stronger effect in people who started with higher blood pressure. Another source reported that in hypertensive patients, psyllium supplementation reduced 24-hour systolic pressure by about 5.9 millimeters of mercury. That does not mean psyllium replaces prescribed blood pressure medication, but it can be a helpful extra step in a heart-healthy routine. The benefits are usually seen when it is taken consistently with enough water and alongside better eating habits, less salt, and regular physical activity. It is also important to know that results vary from person to person, and the effect is generally modest rather than dramatic. Still, for people with elevated blood pressure, psyllium may offer a simple way to support better cardiovascular health over time. Next, stabilizes blood sugar. Psyllium can help stabilize blood sugar because it slows how quickly glucose is absorbed after a meal. When it forms a gel in the stomach and intestines, carbohydrates are digested more slowly, which can reduce sharp rises in blood sugar and insulin. That matters because repeated spikes can increase cravings, energy crashes, and long-term metabolic stress. In people with diabetes or insulin resistance, this effect may be especially useful as part of a broader eating plan. A randomized crossover study in patients with type 2 diabetes found that psyllium reduced post-meal glucose spikes by 14% at breakfast and 20% at dinner, while lowering the next meal rise by 31%. A 2024 meta-analysis of 19 randomized controlled trials, including 962 participants, also found significant reductions in fasting blood sugar and HbA1c with psyllium compared with placebo. Another large review reported that multi-week psyllium use improved HbA1c by about 0.97% in people with type 2 diabetes. For best results, psyllium should be taken consistently, usually before meals with enough water. It is supportive, not a substitute for medical treatment, but it can be a very practical tool for better blood sugar control. Next, soothes acid reflux. Psyllium may help soothe acid reflux because it thickens stomach contents and can make it harder for acid to travel back up into the esophagus. For people who get heartburn, this can mean less burning, less regurgitation, and fewer uncomfortable after-meal symptoms. It may be especially helpful when reflux is linked with constipation, since better bowel regularity can also reduce pressure in the abdomen. A randomized clinical trial comparing psyllium seed with omeprazole in patients with gastroesophageal reflux disease found that psyllium improved reflux symptoms and reduced recurrence in many participants. Another summary of the same line of research reported that psyllium relieved reflux symptoms in about 89% of participants on average after 7 days. More recent data also suggests that psyllium can be a useful adjunct for reflux-related symptoms when combined with standard treatment. Still, it is important to understand that psyllium is not a cure for severe GERD, and it may not work the same way for everyone. It should be taken with enough water and introduced gradually to avoid bloating or choking. For many people, though, it can be a simple fiber-based support for calmer digestion and less reflux discomfort. Next, improves gut health. Psyllium does more than keep you regular, it also supports a healthier gut environment. Because it is a soluble, fermentable fiber, it can feed beneficial bacteria in the colon and help shape a more balanced microbiota over time. A randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind trial found that 7 days of psyllium changed gut microbial composition in both healthy and constipated participants with stronger effects. In constipated subjects, those changes were associated with increased stool water and shifts in bacteria linked to better fermentation and gut function. That matters because a healthier microbiome can influence digestion, gut comfort, and even the production of compounds involved in brain and metabolic health. Psyllium may also support serotonin-related pathways indirectly, since a large part of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut, and gut bacteria play a role in that system. For some people, that can translate into better mood, steadier energy, and improved sleep, although these effects are usually indirect and less immediate than the digestive benefits. The main takeaway is that psyllium is not just a constipation fiber. It can act like a daily prebiotic support for your gut ecosystem when used consistently with enough water. Next, helps reduce gut-related anxiety. Psyllium may help reduce gut-related anxiety by improving digestive comfort and calming irritation in the gut, which can reduce stress signals sent between the gut and brain. The gut and brain communicate constantly through the vagus nerve, and when the digestive system is inflamed or uncomfortable, that communication can amplify stress, anxiety, and a stressed stomach feeling. By supporting more regular bowel movements, reducing constipation, and helping balance the gut environment, Psyllium may indirectly make that gut-brain signaling less reactive. A review on the brain-gut axis explains that gut irritation can send signals to the central nervous system and influence mood states such as anxiety. Another review of dietary fiber and mental health notes that improving gut microbiota and intestinal function may support better emotional well-being and stress resilience. While psyllium is not a treatment for anxiety disorders, many people with digestive sensitivity notice that when their gut feels calmer, their stress level feels lower too. That is why psyllium may be helpful for people whose anxiety seems to worsen with bloating, constipation, or digestive discomfort. The benefit is usually indirect, but for some people it can be an important part of feeling better overall. Lastly, prevents hemorrhoids and supports skin health. Psyllium may help prevent hemorrhoids because it softens stools and makes them easier to pass, which reduces straining during bowel movements. Less straining means less pressure on the veins around the rectum, and that can lower the risk of hemorrhoids or ease discomfort if they already exist. This is why psyllium is often recommended for constipation-related hemorrhoid prevention. A medical information source notes that constipation worsens hemorrhoid symptoms, and that psyllium can help by keeping stools softer and bulkier. Psyllium may also support healthier skin indirectly. When blood sugar stays more stable, the body may experience fewer insulin spikes, which can help reduce excess oil production and inflammation that may contribute to acne or dull-looking skin. A 2024 meta-analysis found that psyllium significantly reduced fasting blood sugar and HbA1c in adults, showing real metabolic benefits that can matter for skin health too. Another study summarized improved glucose control with psyllium over time. So while psyllium is not a skincare treatment, its effects on digestion and blood sugar may help your skin look and feel better from the inside out. How to consume it correctly. To get the best results, proper use is essential. Start with 1 teaspoon of psyllium powder or 1 tablespoon of flakes mixed into a large glass of water, about 8 to 12 ounces. Stir it quickly and drink it right away before it thickens into a gel. Then follow it with another full glass of water, because this helps prevent choking, dehydration, and digestive discomfort. If you want benefits like better blood sugar control or appetite support, take psyllium about 30 minutes before meals. That timing gives it enough time to expand in the stomach and help you feel fuller. If your body tolerates it well after 3 to 7 days, you can gradually increase to 2 or 3 servings a day, especially before your main meals. Do not start with a large amount because that can cause bloating, gas, or constipation in some people. Psyllium can be used daily as a long-term habit, but only if you stay well hydrated throughout the day. Used the right way, it can become a simple and powerful addition to your routine. Mistakes and side effects to avoid. There are a few common mistakes that can reduce psyllium's effectiveness or cause discomfort. First, do not start with a high dose. Begin with 1 teaspoon per day and let your gut adapt gradually. Also, keep psyllium away from your medications because it can interfere with absorption. Take it at least 2 hours before or after any medicine. Whenever possible, avoid capsules, since you may need around 8 capsules to equal 1 teaspoon of powder, which makes them less practical for daily use. Choose a pure psyllium product without added sugar, sweeteners, colors, or fillers. In the first few days, mild bloating or gas is normal and usually disappears as your body adjusts. However, if discomfort becomes strong, reduce the dose and increase it more slowly. Most importantly, never take psyllium without enough water because it absorbs moisture and can cause choking, constipation, or a heavy, uncomfortable feeling in the gut. Used the right way, it is a helpful fiber, but used carelessly, it can backfire. Psyllium husk is one of the simplest natural tools you can use to support better digestion, a healthier heart, steadier blood sugar, and even weight management. When you use it correctly and consistently, the benefits can become noticeable over time. Just remember to start slowly, drink plenty of water, and give your body a few days to adjust. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next video, and leave a comment below if you want more simple, science-backed nutrition content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Click on one of the videos on screen to keep learning and discover more health tips.